So, what do we have here? We actually have a new image from James Webb telescope about two galaxies that are spiraling and they are actually merging together to form this particular image here called the ARP 220, and this here is actually one of the most luminous galaxies that are out there. Like in terms of contrast, it is like about a trillion stars that are targeting here compared to our own Milky Way, which is around, let's say, around a billion stars, which really shows how luminous this particular galaxy ARP 220 is. Now, in terms of the infrared here, it is actually shining at its best using the infrared spectrum, according to this article. And looking at where it's located, it says here that it is around 250 million light years away in the constellation of Saturn. And this here, pretty much the serpent, you can think of it. It is also shown to be the brightest of the three galactic mergers that is closest to Earth. Now, the collision of the two spiral galaxies began about 700 million years ago. It sparked an enormous burst of star formation, and this shows that there are about 200 huge star clusters that reside in a packed dusty region of around 5,000 light years across. Now, this year, the amount of gas in this tiny region is equal to all of the gases in the entire Milky Way. Now, previous radio telescope observation revealed about 100 supernovas remnants in an area of less than 500 light years. And in terms of Hubble Space Telescope, it uncovered the core of the parent galaxies that are around 1,200 light years apart. Now, each of these cores has a rotating star forming ring blasting out the dazzling infrared light so apparent in this Webb image. And so the glaring light creates diffraction spikes and the starburst features that dominates this image. Now, on the outskirts of this merge, Webb reveals a faint tiled tails, or I would say material drawn of the galaxies by gravity, represented in blue. Now, this is an evidence of the galactic dance that is occurring. Now, there are indeed organic material that are represented in reddish orange, appearing in streams and fragments across the ARP 220 galaxy. Now, this here is showing the combination of the near-infrared camera and the mid-infrared instrument. And this is wonderful to see what this actual image actually shows has to offer in not only the context of how luminous it is, how much stars are actually shown here, but also how these bursts of stars that were created from just two spiral galaxies colliding with each other produces a rich understanding of how organic matter can actually be created here, as shown by the reddish orange appearance here. So there will be more investigation about this particular region here in terms of the galaxy. One is how close it is, relative to Earth, of course, but how this compares to our own Milky Way in terms of the burst of stars that are created here compared to how much that we have in our own Milky Way galaxy. So I hope you found this video informative in terms, of course, of this new image by James Webb Telescope. There are more images that will release currently, so watch out for that. And I hope to see you on the next one. All the same, stay smart as always and believe in yourselves.